Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. Welcome along to the AOR Hype Energy F3 League here on PlayStation 4. And we take you now to round number 12 and the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. My name is Kieran McGinley. Only me tonight, so you're going to have to put up with my voice. Unfortunately, Austin's not feeling 100%. He's come down with the flu, unfortunately. So, yeah, unless he's coughing and spluttering, I guess he's decided to pull out. So get well soon, Austin. If you're watching along, I know you probably will. Obviously, with the spreadsheet that he's given me, I would love to open the spreadsheet and have a look at it and tell you all about it. However, I can't. My computer is just not playing ball right now. The only thing it's showing me is the track map at the moment. So, yeah, that's not a great start, I have to say. Slowest computer in the world, but what can you do? Anyway, I would sing Smooth Operator if you've watched the Brazilian Grand Prix today. If you haven't, I won't spoil it for you because we're going to be going to the Hungarian Grand Prix here in AOR PS3. PS3? Oh no! Oh, it's already started. Who let me in the commentary box on my own? Yeah, you. Yeah, no, it wasn't a good idea. Anyway, so the Hungarian Grand Prix then. It's Monaco without the barriers, as it's informally known as. And it's thrown up a couple of good races in the past, and hopefully it will throw up a good race tonight. Big news, actually, coming out of all of this, is that Deso might not be with us for much longer. More on that later. What I can tell you, though, is that currently we have 15 drivers here ready and waiting to go. And hopefully it won't be too long before we get ourselves underway. Now, hopefully it doesn't normally rain in Hungary. Not normally. So fingers crossed that we get a bit of a dry racing. Well, Deso there in the YouTube chat has revealed the news for us all. So I guess it's not under covers, it's not under wraps. I can say it however I like. Deso, this is his last race in F3. He's actually being promoted to F1. So very well done to him. And for you, Deso, your reward is having the lovely Andy Campbell and I believe Alimunda commentating over you. So big step up. Big step up. But yeah, so from round 13 onwards, Deso will be in the F1 league. So what that means for now is that this is Deso's send-off from F3. So this is he'll be hoping for a good race then, and he'll be hoping that he can pull it all together for one more time, one more win here. Would really round off his F3 career pretty well, pretty tidily. So we have 15 drivers then, not a bad turnout considering the Brazilian Grand Prix finished up around about an hour ago. So that's not too bad at all. In fact, it was more than an hour ago, wasn't it? Time flies by. I've had a weird Sunday. Normally the races happen at sort of 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock maybe. But then you get to the Brazilian Grand Prix, it's sort of slap bang 5 o'clock, right in time for dinner. And it's like, well, okay, cool. In fact, it's 9:10, because they always start the races, well, they always start the formation lap 10 minutes past the hour. There is a reason they do that, but the reason's beyond me at this point. Oh well, I'll shrug my shoulders and say I roughly know. I don't. Anyway, there you can see the pit lane there. And it's a tricky pit lane, as you can see, because you've got a nice metal barrier on the outside. So you've got to be careful not to run too deep into the corner, and you've got to be careful not to run too deep at all. There you can see the exit of turn 3 on the ascent towards turn 4, and again the last corner. So we get 2 shots of the last corner and then the exit of turn 3 on the rise towards turn 4. But we're into qualifying now. Looks dry, and it is. So sun is not exactly beaming down onto the track. There's a few clouds in the sky, so that might affect track temperature just very slightly. So the tyres might not be warming up enough, or might struggle to get some heat into the tyres, but we'll have to wait and see as qualifying has started then here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Make sure you're following Apex Online Racing on Twitter. It's at Apex On Racing, and whilst you're there, you can also follow me if you like. It's at KSMCGF1. And hopefully we'll see you there. I've just actually hit 300 followers. It's taken me so long. I've spent the last 2 or 3 weeks getting up to 299 and then Twitter saying, no, actually, some of these accounts are fake, and taking them away again. So, yay, 300, hooray. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's focus on the races. It looks like we have a racing point out onto track first of all. It is Basti out there on the hard tyres, making his way down towards turn 3. And Hungary is a track that has a lot of undulation, so you've got to be prepared for that as he now flies his way through turn 3 on the way towards turn 4. Quite a fast and flowing circuit, first sector. Really got to put faith in the aerodynamics as Iamotti has left the session, so not great for him first of all as Basti now makes his way through turn 6 and 7. Probably the slowest part of the track there. So you've got to be really technical, you've got to have the grip there as Basti now makes his way through this S section. Making his way through turn 10 and through turn 11 I believe this is, on the run down the hill. Let's see on these hard tyres there as he makes his way through the right-hander of turn 12. On towards turn 13, a little bit of a lock-up on the left-hand side front tyre. But he's now winding up for a lap here of the Hungaroring. Turn 14, you've got to be really patient on the apex, and you can see there Basti going up through the gears to try and reduce the wheel spin off the final corner. So DRS wide open as we head down towards turn 1 for the very first time on this lap, braking just at the 50-metre board to slow the car down in time. A little bit of a loss of back end on the exit there, because downhill the nature of that corner can make the car behave a little bit strange. Then through turn 2, a long winding left-hander there that you can carry a little bit more speed into than you realise. Through turn 3, use the curve on the exit there, which you carry the speed through. Now coming through turn 4, very easy to overcommit through turn 4. Watch the curve on the exit, too much of it, and you can get yourself a track limit warning and invalidate your lap time. That's exactly what's just happened there for Basti. So unfortunately, his flying lap is over, and my lap of the track is partially interrupted. Aero's off the track there at turn 2, just after turn 2. That's on the approach to turn 3. So something's gone wrong there for the Toro Rosso of Aero. Meanwhile, though, Deso makes his way out onto the track, and he's actually abandoned the lap very, very early on now. So bizarre from him. Here's Krisman then, straight out there onto a set of soft tyres as he makes his way through turn 1, down the hill then, through towards turn 2. I'm getting deja vu here. Didn't we already just do this? Through turn 2, nice and tight to that apex this time around. Of course, the soft tyres help that. Through turn 3, not taking the curve on the outside this time. Obviously, has a lot more grip on those soft tyres now. Flying through turn 4. Oh, a little bit of a snap of oversteer there from the Renault of Krisman as he makes his way through turn 5. And on the approach towards turn 6 through this chicane here, again, very easy to run deep into the first part of the chicane. Really can cost you a lot of time. Through turn 7, then through turn, this is turn 9 now, as we've got Mercedes off the track just up ahead. Through turn 10, then through turn 11, you've got to be really careful about that curve on the entry on the left-hand side. It's sort of banked there, so it really can unsettle the car if you hit it at the wrong angle. Through turn 12, a bit of a loss of the back end there. These cars are really struggling in these conditions from the ones we've seen. We've seen cars off the track already in this session. Now the long right-hander at turn 15. Again, you've got to be patient on the throttle. The apex will come. You've just got to be patient. And Krisman now making his way towards the start-finish line. And it is a 1:16.3 from the Renault. And that's the fastest lap time of the qualifying session so far, as I'd expect so, because the only other lap times have been set on the hard tyres. Andres, 1:17.6. He's off the track. I think he was just getting out of the way of another car. Johan there in third place, 1:17.7. Deso has said a 1:37.7, but I believe that's a misrepresentative lap. He's not quick on that lap, so obviously we saw him pull to one side out of turn 1. Here is Zenki there, making his way down towards turn 1. Again, a lot of drivers will be going up the gears quite a bit out of that corner, so want to keep the back end in check. Heading his way through turn 2 again, up through the gear again, just to keep that back end in line, and so the can control the wheel spin out of turn 3 there, through turn 4. Turn 4 is one of those corners where if you clip one side of the curve, either on the entry or the exit, the chances of the car spinning around and having enough it's extremely high, especially on worn tyres. The drivers will have to be careful about that throughout the day. Zenki then making his way through turn 10 now. 11 on his run down towards turn 12. There's a bit of debris on the left hand side there, a little bit of carbon fibre. That looks like a piece of front wing. Could not tell you which car that came from though. And Zenki makes his way through turn 13 and then up the hill then towards turn 14. Then flying that car through there, nice and close to the curb and onwards towards that start finish line. And Zenki goes P3 then in the Alfa Romeo, 117.428, 3 thousandths of a second slower than Desso, who actually set a 117.425. Francis then making his way through turn 3 and onwards and up the hill towards turn 4. We've got Pedro who's currently out there. I believe he is now going to be on a flying lap. He was on a lap before but abandoned it, so that's a 27.9. But that was an invalidated lap. Table plan then making his way through turn 4 onwards towards turn 5. Slossy there. His name is now Sloss, but I've always called him in AOR Slossy, so the name will stick, that's for sure. As you can see, they're backing off the throttle, trying to get as much air as possible out of the final corner and onwards towards that start-finish straight. Going now down through the gears, braking hard for turn 1. Just over 10 minutes to go of this qualifying session at the moment. It is Kruzman who tops the table, and Alex Musica has been disqualified from qualifying for parking in a dangerous location. Now that was at the pit lane exit there for Alex Musica, so that seems like he might have had wheel trouble there, so he would have stopped on the pit lane exit when he realised nothing happened. And obviously he's parked there for too long, so that is the black flag showing to Alex Musica for qualifying. And so he will have to start the race from the back of the grid, but at least he's got 10 minutes to really get the wheels sorted then, as finally his AI pulls to one side. Slossy doing a little bit of gardening there through turn 11. Won't have to pay the gardener for the trimming at turn 11, that's for sure. Now coming towards turn 13, this is a great camera angle. I'd love to see more of this in the race. As we make our way through turn 13, onwards towards turn 14. And then onwards towards the start-finish line. DRS wide open for Slossy in the Red Bull, and he goes P7, a 117.9 from the Red Bull driver. As he puts himself onto the 4th row of the grid as it stands. Francis, his teammate, currently in 10th place. Finally, his wheel has been repaired. He can finally race again. So it's good to see Francis back then. He's currently 10th place, but hasn't set a lap time as of yet. As he makes his way through turn 13, he's just winding himself up to go for another lap. Let's see fitted tyres. Well, it's not different from the best tyres, that's for sure. Francis then out of the final corner onwards towards the start-finish straight. Goes 9th actually, with a 128.3. So he was on a lap. That wasn't invalidated. He willingly backed out of it. And so he will not, well, he sets a banker lap down, so if worst comes to worst, he has a 128.3 to his name. Having a look through the order, I'm seeing Pedro is out there currently. He's on mode 0, as is Pitmat, who's making his way back to the pit lane. Table plan is currently in the pit lane. Slossy out there. We've got Andres, I think he's on a flying lap. Yes, he is. He's a 10th quicker than himself through sector 2. Now making his way through this technical section. Section where you've really got to focus on the grip. Your apexes now flying through turn 11, down the hill then towards turn 12, 2/10 up now on his personal best, so he's looking here to take over 4th place from Aero, making his way now down towards turn 13 and then onwards towards turn 14. Comes back into the pits then. So Andres then was getting quicker, but just deciding not to finish at lap time whatsoever. Well, here we go then, riding on board with Marco Kruzman, who runs a little bit wide there. Now he's making his way down towards turn 11. Well, down towards turn 12, but he's still pushing on, like this lap time counts. So even though he ran a little bit wide, he's still pushing on, still pressing on, looking to get that pole position time down even more. Let's see what he can do then. Out of the final corner, onwards towards the start finish line, and he goes even quicker than a 1:15.6 from the Renault. Puts him now in a better position to hold on to that pole position. I'm having to do two things at once here. I want to get a tweet out to tell everyone, hey, come watch this. But then I'm having to keep another eye on the qualifying, and then I have to keep another eye on the YouTube chat, and then I have to keep another eye. Basically, I need about 5 eyes for the tasks I'm trying to do. But oh well. You might hear typing in the background. You might hear other stuff as well. Zenki then making his way through turn 6, through turn 7, just about keeping it within the track limits there. Riding aboard now with the Alfa Romeo driver as he makes his way through turn 10, then through turn 11. Nice and tidy through there. Down the hill then towards turn 12. Turn 12, I'm always reminded of Kimi Raikkonen in the Ferrari. I believe it was 2015. Who went full opposite lock down the inside at turn 11, or at turn 12 I should say, and managed to make the move stick. I can never remember who the move was on. I just remember that Kimi Raikkonen had, going into the right hand corner, full lock left, which was quite something as Zenki improves on his lap time, but doesn't improve on his position right now. 1:17.1, and that brings him now just over a tenth behind Deso for second place. Francis not on a lap time right now, only a couple of cars out on track. Deso is one of them, but he is not on a flying lap. He's probably sitting on a 1:17.0. His way now in towards turn 30, just trying to find a driver who might be on a flying lap. I haven't found anyone yet. We've got Iamotti and Basti looking to basically set a lap time in this qualifying session. They haven't done so just yet. As he now makes his way down towards turn 12. Soft tyres strapped on to the Racing Point car as he now makes his way towards turn 13. Giving himself as much space out on track as possible. Going through turn 14 and onwards towards the start finish line. Basti here had his lap time invalidated. I remember that because we were originally going to be riding on board with him for the flying lap, for the hot lap around here, the improv hot lap. But unfortunately he backed out of the lap time at around about turn 6. So that was very unfortunate, but now he's on a lap here on the soft tyres. Well, Grisman's on a 1:15.6, so I wonder what Basti will do. We will have 35 laps here at the Hungarian for tonight. Obviously 50% races, that means we have the 70 there, very close to that brake marker board, and once again Basti backs out of this lap. Iamotti meanwhile comes around the final corner and onwards towards the start finish straight. 1:17.8 on a set of those medium tyres. I don't know, I was expecting a little bit of a better lap than that, but maybe there was an issue for Iamotti there on that lap. But yeah, that puts him 7th place. His teammate Aero is 3/10 faster on the hard tyres, so Iamotti's got to try and find a bit more pace out there here in Hungary. 3.5 minutes to go then of qualifying. It is still Chrisman on provisional pole position. Deso is in second in his last F3 race before he's promoted to F1. Zenki in third with Aero 4th, Johan in 5th, Andres 6th with Iamotti in 7th, Slossi in 8th, Gabri, who I haven't mentioned once in this stream so far, currently in 9th place. Francis rounds out the top 10, Pedro with a banker lap time as well in 11th place. We're just waiting for lap times from Basti, Pitmap and Table Plan in this qualifying session. And Alex Musica was disqualified from the qualifying session as he was parked at the pit lane exit, I assume, for wheel troubles. But because he was parked there for too long, we got shown the black flag. Iamotti then making his way back towards the pit lane. We've got Pedro, who's on a flying lap now. He's currently on a set of the medium tyres. loses that back end out of turn 2. Onto the grass he goes. And that will have been lap abandoned then. Well, I don't think he's going to get another chance to go back to the pit lane and put on a different set of tyres. So he's got to slow the car down, build up some ERS, try not to take too much out of the tyres, because from what it looks like, he's planning to start this race on these tyres. He's sort of stuck in no man's land right now, so he's got to save the tyres, he's got to save up some ERS and make sure that he has the ability and the car is with him for the remainder of the session. But not long to go now, just 2 minutes to go then in qualifying. And let us know who you're supporting tonight here in the Apex Online Racing F3 PS4 League, and hopefully they'll be waiting for your support anyway. Let's see what happens. So we've got drivers now on lap times. We've got Deso currently making his way through turn 4. A little bit of oversteer there. That's lap time invalidated for Deso there as he backs off. We've got Table Clan, who's also having to abandon a lap there. Johan currently on a fast run here as he makes his way now through turn 11. Nice and tidy through there, downwards towards turn 12. Again, nice and tidy there. Yellow flags in sector 2, but that looks like it's car's just getting out of the way as Johan now makes his way around the final corner and onwards towards the start finish straight. Can he improve on P8? Yes he can, it's P2 there for Johan as he makes his way up the order. So a great lap time from him. Andres is in third, 1:16.6. Table Clan 1:16.7. Pitmat 1:16.9. These lap times are coming in thick and fast now, but might have been a bit too early. Iamotti's on a flying lap right now. He's 2/10 up on his personal best through sector 1. Again, that will get him to around about a 1:17.6. That would be, oh, that's a second off Andres. That's 1.1 off Johan right now, but of course he's still got plenty of the lap to go then through turn 11. Just 20 seconds on the clock now as he now makes his way down the hill towards turn 12. And then onwards to turn 13. Nice and cool through 13, then through 14 here as Chrisman goes faster yet again. 1:15.3. Checkered flag comes out then as Iamotti takes second place. 1:16.4 from the Toro Rosso driver. Johan has backed out of a lap. Andres is on a lap right now as he makes his way through turn 2. What about Table Clan? Yes, he's on a lap as well. Pedro, he's backed off. So has the Renault there of Chrisman. So they're both not on laps. Pitmat is coming back into the pits. In fact, Pedro retires from the session altogether. Slossie is on a lap time right now as Basti puts in P11 on the set of the soft tyres there. I wonder if that first lap really hurt him on those tyres. Riding on board with Francis as Pitmat retires from the session. We've also got Slossie there. So the two Red Bulls pretty much running in tandem then as they make their way around the final corner. Riding on board with Francis, and what can he do as he makes his way towards the start-finish line? And it's P6 for the Red Bull driver. How about Slossie right behind? That's P8 for Slossie. So the Red Bulls are doing well there. Table Clan puts it up to 5th place. Onto the, that's the third row off the grid then. Here's Zenki around the final corner and on towards the start finish line. Can he get himself into the top 10? Yes he can, he can do better than that. It's the second row of the grid then. Iamotti crosses the, or was that, it was, I'm trying to think who that was. It was Andres up to P4 then. But it looks like everybody has taken the checkered flag. And it looks like Marco Chrisman in the Renault is going to start from pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. But of course, he's starting on a set of the soft tyres. And everyone else in the top 10 is starting on a set of the medium. So that should be pretty interesting for Chrisman. He'll be hoping to just run away with it. But that will do it for qualifying then. And so Chrisman gets himself a pole position for his troubles. And a really good effort from him. He was on the soft tyres, so to be expected, but you've still got to perform at that point. And just make sure that you're letting your favourite drivers know that you're here and here for their support as well. Let us know who the flags are flying for here tonight as we now go through the results of qualifying. Well, it is Krisman then on pole position, with Deso in second, Zenki in third, Andres fourth, with Gabri in fifth, Iamotti in sixth, with Table Clan seventh, Johan in eighth, Francis in ninth, and Slossie rounds out the top 10. It's Pedro in 11th, Pitmat 12th, Basti 13th, Aero 14th, and Alex Musica, who was disqualified from the session, he will be starting from P15. All of the top 10 starts on the medium tyres, apart from the pole sitter Marco Krisman, who will be starting on a set of the soft tyres. Hopefully you're in for a good night's racing here at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and hopefully you'll be joining me for the entire stream, I hope. Please. But make sure you're following Apex Online Racing on Twitter. It is at Apex On Racing. Make sure as well you subscribe to the channel as well. There's plenty of disciplines going on here for your liking, across plenty of platforms as well. So make sure you are subscribed to Apex Online Racing for that as well. So let's have some predictions in the chat then. Who do we think is going to grab the race win here in Hungary? Can Krisman hold on for what would be a stunning victory? But he's going to find it tough on the soft tyres. Can anybody stop the man on form, Deso, in his last race here in F3? 3 wins on the trot for him. A win at Austria, a win at Britain, and a win at Germany. 3 on the trot. Can he make it 4 wins back to back in his last race in AOR F3 before he moves to AOR F1? And of course he has to his name right now 6 wins in the season out of 11. And one of those he didn't turn up for, which was Spain. So he's participated in 10 Grand Prix in F3 and won 6 of them. So it's an impressive record for Deso, as he is on the front row of the grid then. But Krisman will lead the field down towards turn 1 on those soft tyres, and he'll be hoping to try and get away as much as he possibly can. It's going to be tough for him because those soft tyres will start to wear out. In fact, with Krisman on the soft tyres, he is the only driver starting this race on the Red Bull soft tyres. Everyone outside of the top 10 is starting on a set of the medium tyres, apart from the Toro Rosso of Aero, who's starting on a set of the hard tyres. So pretty interesting here. Only 2 drivers going for a split strategy or a different strategy altogether in Krisman and Aero. And I really wish I could look at the strategies, the predicted strategies that Austin has set up for me, but right now I can't. Whatever app I need to open it has been trying to update for the last 3 hours. It's just not having it. It's not having it whatsoever. So I'll have to do without it. And these things happen. They just happen. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. But anyway, Krisman then making his way through turn 11 and onwards towards turn 12. And once again, he will be hoping to try and keep these tyres in check for as long as he possibly can. It will be tough. Can he try and grab a stunning victory here at the Hungaroring? Well, they're making their way around the final corner now and onwards to the start finish straight to take their grid positions for the 12th round of the AOR Hype Energy F3 League here on PlayStation 4. Krisman this season has never finished on the podium. The closest he's come, 2 4th places. One at France and the other at the last round in Germany. But as Alex Musica takes his place on the last remaining grid slot, we are moments away from the Hungarian Grand Prix here in AOR Racing. And we go towards those 5 red lights. And here we are in Hungary, 5 red lights. Round 12 is underway, and what are the starts like? A little bit of wheel spin from Krisman off the starting grid, but downwards towards turn 1 we go. That's a great start from Zenki as well. Not a great start for Deso as we make our way now down towards turn 1 then, as that looks like Zenki trying to battle it out then. Deso runs wide on the exit of turn 1. Krisman trying to hold on then to the lead of the race as we make our way now down towards turn 2. As it looks like they're definitely scrapping for position, that's for sure, as they make their way now through turn 3, upwards and uphill towards turn 4 we go. It's hard to tell who's leading that one. As we now make our way, there's a bit of carbon fibre off there. Pedro's in trouble. There was a little bit of a Alfa Romeo front wing come off the car there, and Pedro now instantly retires from the session altogether. Well, that's a bit of a bizarre one. There's 35 laps ahead of him, and he decides now to just throw in the towel. Meanwhile, riding on board with Johan then as he makes his way now through that S section. Still riding on board then as Zenki and Marco Krisman battle it out then for the lead of the race. But you can see there, Zenki now leads here in Hungary with Krisman in second place. Deso is in third place with Gabri in fourth. Then it is Andres 5th, Iamotti 6th with Johan 7th, Francis running in 8th, Table Clan 9th, and Basti running out the top 10. Pitman 11th, Alex Musica in 12th, Slossi 13th, and Aero 14th. 14 runners in this race. As we've had one retirement, there is Zenki then trying to go down the inside in towards turn 1 we go. And it looks like he's taken the lead, but he's run deep in towards the first turn, and Krisman says thank you very much, I'll take that lead back. Meanwhile, Francis and Johan are battling out of turn 1, and Johan manages to hold on to that position. He's under threat from Francis though as we make our way now through turn 2 that was. Deso still trying to chase down the race leaders here of Krisman and Zenki. So it's rare for Deso to not get a great start off the grid. It's rare for him to lose positions on the starting grid there, but he just didn't get a great getaway. Zenki did though. He had a great getaway from the starting grid. As we see Alex Musica and Slossi battling for position there in towards the chicane. It's not really an overtaking opportunity. I have been proven wrong before, and I'll happily be proven wrong again. Nice and tight between the top runners right now, as we see coming down towards turn 12 and in towards 13. Zenki's hanging on to this lead, and Krisman's all over the back of him there as we make our way through turn 13 and then upwards towards turn 14. Deso riding on board with him as Gabri right behind, looking to try and take advantage. Zenki sets the fastest lap of the race, but that's instantly bettered by Deso then with a 1:20.3 as we make our way now down towards turn 1. And Krisman here is still battling away with Zenki. Now that's going to hurt his tyres. He wants to try and hang on to those tyres and treat them as well as possible for as long as possible as well. That's not going to help them whatsoever. Making our way now up the hill towards turn 4, and Zenki leads now from Krisman, and it is Deso in third place. This was the problem with starting on the soft tyres. You have to basically gallop away at the first stretch, at the first opportunity you can. That didn't happen for Krisman. He's now behind Zenki, and he might lose more and more time here as that battling with the Alfa Romeo will come back to haunt him. Francis then 3-second time penalty on his return. Not a great start for him, currently running in 8th place. He was putting pressure on Johan early on in this race, but Johan's got a little bit of breathing space, and I say a little bit of breathing space, it's half a second basically, but that's still breathing space to an F1 driver, albeit very slight. Pitmat as well, putting pressure on Basti then as we make our way now up the hill towards the final corner. Basti runs a little bit wide on the entry, but that's to try and prioritise the exit out of the final corner. Pitmat now in the slipstream. DRS of course is online as Deso here runs wide at turn 2 there as he's battling away with Marco Krisman down into the first corner. Deso have to take to being off the track as they make their way now down towards turn 3, and then they'll ascend towards turn 4 as well. But yeah, just looked like there Deso just had to back out of it, and back out of it so much that he was off the track. So Krisman's putting up a fight here, even if he is on those soft tyres that are going to be wearing more and more. Basti clips the curve on the entry into turn 5. Now, turn 5 is a little bit of an awkward one. You do not want to clatter the inside curve there. If you do, the car will spin around, guaranteed. It has happened to me so many times. As Slossi is passed by Alex Musica then. So Alex Musica up to 12th place in the McLaren. Now Slossi's under pressure from Aero. Remember, Aero started on the hard tyres, so he's looking to try and run an extended stint for as long as he possibly can. Deso, meanwhile, heading through the final corner. Still looking to put some pressure on the Renault, but it is Zenki who leads here in Hungary. with Grisman in second, Desso in third, and look how much is closing up once again to Marco Grisman. Down the inside he'll go at turn 1. He'll try and take the inside line this time around, and this time around it looked a little bit simpler for the Mercedes driver as he takes away second place from the Renault driver there. Meanwhile, Basti and Pitmat battling for that last points pay position as we head down towards turn 2. Basti on the outside, Pitmat on the inside there. No way for Basti to come and back at him. And Pitmat takes away 10th place from the Racing Point car. Basti may be looking for a move down the inside at turn 4. Not the place you want to be trying that one at all. Clouds don't look too encouraging at this point in the race. It's very overcast. And of course I don't really have a weatherman in the commentary box with me either. So it's hard to tell what this weather's going to do. But the sun's there. It's definitely trying to poke through. But at the moment, very cloudy here in Hungary, here in Budapest. Downwards we go through turn 12, riding aboard with the McLaren of Johan as he looks to put the pressure on Iamotti through turn 13. And then we'll head up the hill for turn 14. Iamotti as well looking to put some pressure on Andres as we make our way through that final corner. Fastest lap from Desso. Meanwhile, this is Gabri looking for a move on Marco Grisman as they make their way down towards turn 1. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but Gabri takes that position away, and Grisman now falls down to 4th place. Those soft tyres are going to be a little bit worse for wear, if you pardon the pun. And he's going to start to struggle on those tyres as now Andres will look to try and reel him in. Running on board once again with Johan as we make our way up the hill through turn 4. Flying through again, so easy to overcommit through the corner there. Francis with his second 3-second time penalty, so that's a total of 6 seconds now added to the end of Francis's race. We have Alex Musica into the pits, on go a set of the hard tyres. Meanwhile, that was Tablefan having a little bit of a moment through the chicane and lost a bit of time there. Riding on board now with Francis, heading our way through turn 11 as Francis will run wide again at turn number 11 as Basti now picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think that's his first one. Heading our way now through turn 13 onwards towards turn 14. That looked to me like a Renault coming into the pits, and it was. That's Grisman then into the pits now. I'm thinking it was either, if he puts on a medium set of tyres, that's a 2-stop. If he puts on a set of hards, that's going to be the only stop he makes. Let's see what happens then. Medium tyres at the ready, so this could be a 2-stop. I can't see those medium tyres lasting to the end of the race, if I'm completely honest with you. But again, I've been proven wrong before, and I'll be happily proven wrong again. Riding on board with Francis then, as he makes his way now through turn 3, onwards towards turn 4. He's right close to Johan, Iamotti and Andres as they make their way through turn 4. But after 6 laps of racing, we're on lap 7, and that is Zenki leading the way. A little bit of a lock-up into the entrance of turn 6 there. Might just feeling the pressure there from Desso as the Mercedes starts to reel in the Alfa Romeo. Gabri then is in 3rd place, currently 2.4 back from Desso as he runs a little bit wide at turn 11, as does Andres behind him. And it just seems like one of those things really, you can run wide at turn 11 at your own peril. Another great shot here at turn 13. Andres coming up the hill then through the final corner, will be under pressure from the Toro Rosso behind, and then onwards towards the first corner. DRS will be wide open for Iamotti. Can he try and find a way past the Williams down in towards turn 1? He's going to go for it then, lunging a move down towards turn 1 then. Toro Rosso is on the inside and Andres has to concede that one. Iamotti then takes away 4th place away from the Williams there. Meanwhile, Francis has found a way past Johan at last for the Red Bull, but he has got 6 seconds worth of penalties that will be added to the end of his race. Johan here, I don't think he's done with this battle. Making his way up the hill now through turn 4. And once again, that right hand side curve there on the exit of turn 4 is just going to be more and more threatening as the tyres wear on. Running aboard once again with the McLaren driver Francis, taking a little bit of grass there. We won't need to guard that for that corner either, that's for sure. Making our way through turn 11. Francis again running wide at turn 11. That seems to be a move of his. I don't know whether that's where he's getting all the penalties or not, but in any case, he has got those 6 seconds worth of time penalties. But Deso has closed right up to the back of Zenki here as we make our way on towards the start finish straight. DRS wide open from Deso here in the Mercedes. He's reeling in Zenki at a rate of knots down towards turn 1, but does not go for the move then. And I think Zenki there was just a little bit worried. Was he going to go for it? Was he not? In the end, he didn't. But now Zenki knows that Deso's there. And look at that, putting that pressure on as they make their way through turn 2, downhill towards turn 3. Deso's getting a little bit nosy as he goes his way through turn 4. Thinking about a move up the inside. But again, not really a move on at turn 4. Andres here through turn 5 under pressure from Francis behind as we make our way through turns 6 and 7. We're making our way through turn 8. Meanwhile, Deso still right on the back of that Alfa Romeo. Heading now down the hill towards turn 12. And of course, Deso here, this is his final race in AOR F3, as he will be promoted to AOR F1, so we wish him well on that one. Making his way now through the final corner and onwards towards the start finish straight. DRS wide open, and once again he'll try and reel in Zenki down towards turn 1. He's reeling him in, but pulls out of the slipstream actually. Brakes later, but might have run just a little bit too deep there. He can recover by taking a little bit of a different line, try and prioritise the apex. Whether that was intentional or not is a question only Deso can answer. But riding aboard now with his teammate Table Plan as they make their way in towards turn 2, then towards turn 3. A few battles happening across the track. We've got a battle for the lead between 2 drivers. We've got a battle for 4th place between, I think that's 5 drivers. Iamotti, Andres, Francis, Johan and Table Plan. We've got a battle for 9th place between Pitmat and Basti here. And we've also got a battle for 11th place between Slossi and Aero. So a couple of battles happening up and down the field, all for varying degrees of success. And we've got live flags in sector 1. And that was Alex Musica there. And he's taken a big chunk off of that front wing on the right hand side there for the McLaren, as Johan picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Alex Musica has left the session, but he's still running around as a ghost car. So if he wants to rejoin, he can, but I don't think he will rejoin. Meanwhile, his teammate currently in 7th place, looking to put some pressure on Francis through the final corner. But he's got to watch out from the Mercedes behind of Table Plan, who will look to try and get a move done if he can down towards turn 1. But they've all got DRS ahead of them. Johan wanted to go for move, and Table Clan wanted to go for one as well. Managed to just about keep it out of the gearbox of the McLaren ahead as we make our way down towards turn 2. Very close there for Table Clan as we go through turn 2, then through turn 3. Lap 11 here in Hungary. Zenki holds on to the lead from Deso. It's Gabri in 3rd, Iamotti 4th, with Andres 5th, Francis 6th, Johan in 7th, with Table Clan in 8th, Pitmat in 9th, with Basti rounding out the top 10. It's then Slossi in 11th, with Aero 12th, Chrisman in 13th, and Alex Musica running around as a ghost car in 14th. Technically for me, I classify him now as a DNF. So we have 13 runners left in this race. And we're just watching Johan now fly through turn 11, heading down towards turn 12. So I'm just trying to figure out where Francis is getting with these penalties. Andres runs a little bit wide on the exit of 12 there. It's definitely not on the exit of turn 11, because otherwise I've seen him do it 2 or 3 times today and he hasn't picked up a penalty for it. Yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3 at the moment. I'm not quite sure who that would be. I don't think it was Chrisman, no. I'm not sure who that was. Table Clan meanwhile still on the back of that McLaren, heading down towards turn 1. Francis meanwhile has got a Williams ahead of him, heading down towards turn 2. Wanted to go for a move there, maybe to just put the Williams under a little bit of pressure. Of course, those red arrows would have been higher on the agenda there. They ride that curb there on the entrance to turn 4. So much confidence into the curves. I could never do that, to be honest with you. I do that once and the car just says, you're having enough, aren't you? It spins on me. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but very close running between them. And of course that is Iamotti heading away. So all 5 of them here are technically in this battle for 4th place. And again, 2 cars there, the Red Bull and the McLaren running wide at turn 11. And meanwhile, that is Francis getting right up close and personal to Andres through turn 12. With a lock up on the front left there. As we now make our way towards turn 14. But that is Andres then who comes into the pits. So he's the first of the medium runners to make a scheduled stop. Now this to me will be hard tyres to the end for the Williams. As there's a Mercedes crew getting ready, so that's Table Clan coming into the pits. As Desso looks to still pile on the pressure on the Alfa Romeo of Zenki there. Meanwhile, Slossi right behind Basti there. Did they make contact? I don't think they did. Heading down the hill now towards turn 2. And Slossi's eager to get that move done and dusted. Through turn 3. And then onwards towards turn 4. Up the hill we go. Flying through. In towards turn 5. Oh, that was Slossi clipping that curb there. That's exactly what I was talking about. You clip that curb and the car says absolutely not. And Slossi lost the back end and lost the position, but for him, he's only lost a bit of ground. That could have ended a lot worse. That could have ended in front wing damage. It could have ended in a spin. It could have even ended in a retirement, which has happened to me all too many times. Desso still putting that Alfa Romeo under pressure then through the final corner onto the start finish straight, and again the Mercedes is right behind then as we make our way down towards the first turn. Zenki here looking to just try and take the outside line. Desso's looking for that inside line now. That was a late decision to go for that inside line, but in the end Desso just sort of backed out of it there, heading towards turn 2. Pit lane very busy now with Iamotti, Johan, Gabri, Francis and Pitmat all into the pit lane now. It's a very, very busy pit lane right now. And luckily no one's double stacked, so that's ideal now. But that's going to put Basti and Aero right now battling for 3rd place. But these 2 drivers are yet to stop in this race. In fact, Aero there running on a set of the hard tyres. He's been on those tyres since the start of this race. Andres has rejoined then, so he's behind Iamotti. Gabri now in 6th place. As you can see there, Johan, Table Clan and Francis pretty much joining one after the other. That is interesting. So Johan has rejoined ahead of Francis in the battle of the pit lane there. That's a Red Bull there, flirting with the curves and almost paying the price. But he manages to keep it on the track, heading now down towards turn 12. Desso then comes into the pits from 2nd place and leaves Zenki out there for another lap after lock up to get the car slowed down in time as Andres picks up a 3-second time penalty. In comes Desso, on go the set of hards, and away he goes. Now where will he rejoin? So Aero will fly past him then as he heads his way down towards turn 1. We've got lots of cars into the pit lane again, so Gabri coming around the final corner. I assume Desso here is going to rejoin well clear of the hards, and he is. Now the important thing now for Desso is that he has clean air ahead of him. It's now in his control to push as hard as he possibly can now through turn 2, and I think this is where this move is going to take place. He couldn't quite find a way past Zenki out on track, so he's decided to take the battle to the pit lane. But now he's got to make this the outlap, the fastest outlap he possibly can. Got to treat it as qualifying now through the chicane of 6 and 7. Meanwhile, Basti picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's in the exit of turn 4. He's picked up that one. Running board with Slossi then as we make our way towards turn 6 and 7. And Zenki now comes into the pits then from the lead of the race. Slows it down just in time. And now making his way down the pit lane. So where is Desso then? Desso's making his way through 13. And then towards turn 14. Alfa Romeo crew will have to work quickly on the car. They do. I believe he's been released and making his way down the pit lane. There he is, you can see, top right hand of your picture then, riding on board with Deso. Then there is Zenki. It's going to be side by side as they make their way down towards turn one here. Who's going to hold on to the lead of the race? Zenki holds his ground and Deso can't find the way past. Zenki rejoins, still ahead of Deso. And even with the undercut, it didn't quite work for the Mercedes driver, and Zenki holds on to the lead. Great stuff there. So the Alfa Romeo driver now has got to keep his focus. He's won the pit lane battle, but there is still 20 laps to go. Meanwhile, Aero here will get an idea of how long these hard tyres really last, because he's currently on a set of the hard tyres, has been since the start of this race. Now he's going to be quickly reeled in by Zenki and Deso because they're on fresher tyres as they now fly through turn 11. Down they go towards turn 12. And then towards turn 13. Francis, another 3-second time penalty. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's 9 seconds worth of penalties now for Francis. Deso still right on the back of this Alfa Romeo then. We'll open up the DRS, turn up the ERS and try a move down the inside. Will he? Stays in 7th gear. Iamotti then sets the fastest lap of the race then, currently in 5th place, looking to try and close in on Gabri down towards turn 1. Couldn't quite make that move stick though. Deso still looking for a way past Zenki. Can't quite do it then. Now once again with Deso then as he makes his way through turn 5 and then towards the chicane of 6 and 7. Currently Aero lead, but he is yet to stop in this race and has started this race on a set of those hard tyres. Flossie then picks up a 3-second time penalty. Right, with such confidence here, our way down towards turn 12. Meanwhile, Iamotti is trying to chase down Gabri then. This is for 4th place right now, but it's a technical net 3rd place at the moment. And you can see the lead battle just going through the final corner now, so they're not too far up the road. And Zenki is doing all he can to try and stay ahead. In fact, he's doing more than all he can. A 1:19.4 set by him that last lap is the fastest lap of this race so far. So he's doing everything he possibly can to stay ahead of Deso here. Making our way now down towards turn 2. There's just no way past for Deso at this moment in time. We're just about halfway through the Hungarian Grand Prix. Aero leads, although he is yet to stop in this one. Zenki in 2nd place, Deso 3rd with Gabri in 4th, Iamotti not far behind in 5th place, Andres in 6th, Table Clan 7th, Johan there is in 8th place with Francis in 9th. Krisman rounds out the top 10, it is Pitman 11th, Slossie then running in 12th place, Basti is the last of the runners in 13th place. So once again, right on the back of this Alfa Romeo, heading down towards turn 12. As you can see, the sun is definitely trying to poke through the clouds here. From the looks of the strategies then, it kind of leads me to believe there's not going to be any rain, or if there is, it's going to be right at the end of the race. But Aero is currently in the pit lane then, so this will hand the lead back to Zenki. Deso here with the DRS will try and reel in the Alfa Romeo once again, heading down towards turn 1, but too far back to have a go down in towards the first corner. Riding aboard now with Francis. He's trying to chase down Johan, but he's got a good view of this battle. And for turns, oh, down the inside went Johan. Tried an audacious move, would be an understatement. Clatters into the side of Table Clan, and a bit of a clumsy move there from Johan. The red mist descended, he went for it and couldn't stop the car in time, so Francis then goes up to P6. I said he was just watching on, I don't think he expected that to happen. Table Clan then down to 7th place. Doesn't look like there's any damage to either the Mercedes or the McLaren, but just because we can't see the damage doesn't mean there isn't any. We have to keep an eye on their progress throughout the race. Meanwhile, Iamotti then heading our way through turn 11. Down the hill then towards turn 12. And again, Desso's really closed up to the back of Zenki. And you can tell Desso here, that front wing is definitely set up for the corners, because down the start finish straight, he just hasn't quite got enough. He'll open the DRS then, into the slipstream we go, as Zenki starts lap number 20. We have 16 laps here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Desso will close, and again decide not to go for a move then. Siding with patience, rather than just diving it down the inside and hoping it sticks. Down towards turn 2, but again, not really a way through for the Mercedes driver right now, and Zenki's doing a really good job of just keeping that Mercedes behind. Chrisman then, who I suspect is on a 2-stop strategy here, currently in 9th place. Well, if you're going aggressive and you're making as many stops as possible, you've got to try and make the overtakes move, and they've got to keep flowing. Right now he's in 9th place, and those tyres not necessarily the best nick right now. He is going to struggle to try and get through the pack. Iamotti right on the back of Gabri then. This is Haas versus Toro Rosso for that podium spot. Making our way through turn 11 as Aero picks up a 3-second time penalty. Iamotti looking for a move down the inside, nothing doing just yet. Towards turn 13 we go. The thing is, Hungary's such a narrow track as well through the corners. It's always difficult to get side by side with a driver. But here is Desso with the DRS open once again. Zenki trying to break the slipstream as much as possible. Desso, will he go for a move? Yes, he will. He lunges down the inside in towards turn 1. Was there contact between the two of them? Either way, Desso takes the lead of the race then as we make our way down towards turn 2. Desso defends the inside line, and Zenki moves down to 2nd place. And the new leader in this race then, Desso leads for the first time this race then. Meanwhile, Aero trying to close in on Chrisman then. Zenki then picks up a 3-second time penalty. Iamotti trying to battle away for the final podium place. Currently in 4th place. Let's try and close in as much as he possibly can now. There's just no way through for Iamotti at the moment. He's got to bide his time, he's got to be patient. Here is Aero meanwhile, who has pitted. He started on the hard tyres, he's now on the mediums. And looking to try and make this stint work as much as possible. Oh, he makes contact with Chrisman there, as he makes his way now down towards turn 12. As Chrisman almost gets scared off of it, and he now concedes a position to pit mat now, as Desso sets the fastest lap of the race. He's almost got caught by surprise. Has he got damage? Oh, he might have damage to the car now. Either that, or this will be a second scheduled stop, so another set of medium tyres will go on, and he'll really have to push like mad. Pole sitter then into the pits for his 2nd stop of the race. Now this looks like it was planned anyway. On will go another set of medium tyres, and away Chrisman goes. So I wonder if the 2-stop would have worked here. I'm not entirely sure, however, can't blame him for trying. Something different to the entire field. Iamotti meanwhile still putting the pressure on the Haas in front of him for the final podium place. Through this S section here. Making our way through turn 10, then through turn 11. Toro Rosso, it gets frustrating when you're behind a driver for so long. You know you've got the edge on them, you know you're quicker in certain parts, but you lose time through others, and it's so frustrating. We've already seen drivers go down the inside when really they shouldn't have done. We saw Johan with the red mist descending, launch move down towards turn 1. He made contact with Table Clan. Meanwhile, Iamotti here closing in, goes for the move. Does he? No, he thought about it. Really did think about it there. Gabri went defensive into the corner. Oh, lots of back in there for Iamotti. He manages to pick it all back up. Meanwhile, Aero has moved past Johan then. So he is now up to 8th place. Table Clan putting some pressure on Francis ahead of him. Francis, meanwhile, does have, I think, 9 seconds worth of penalties. So He's going to be falling down the order by the end of this race, as it stands anyway. Because you look at everyone behind him. Francis is 6/10 behind Andres. Tableclan is now 6/10 behind Francis. Then Aero's 2.2 down the road. Johan's 8/10 down the road after that. So he's going to be losing a couple of positions. Meanwhile, Deso then picks up a 3-second time penalty. So that balances it out. So Deso and Zenki both have 3-second time penalties that will be added to the end of their respective races. So basically, back to where we started. Yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. That looks like Pitmat in trouble and Basti's out of the race. Basti's out of the race entirely. And that is a tyre off there. What on earth happened there? Well, Pitmat looked like he was around somewhere at turn 11. As Aero now sets the fastest lap of the race. Pitmat then looks like there's no damage to that Williams, but yeah, not entirely sure. Meanwhile, Francis and Andres battling for position then as they make their way now down towards turn 2, and the Red Bull stamps his authority down and takes away 5th place from the Williams of Andres. Andres tries a little bit of a cutback, didn't quite work that time around, but he's got to be careful about Tableclan behind him. Surely not side by side through turn 4, goes up the inside. Oh, just about. How on earth did they keep it on the track? As Andres there makes a little bit of contact there as he understeers through turn 5, still side by side through turn 6, and finally Tableclan has to back out of that one. Okay, they ghosted, but they turned solid again halfway through turn 4. How on earth did they keep that all together then? Aero meanwhile running wide at turn 11. We see carbon fibre on the left hand side there, strewn across just after the grass there. As Aero finds a good exit out of turn 12, not normally an overtaking place turn 13, but the Mercedes is given room, or just about, as Aero and Tableclan clash tyres then in through the final corner. As Aero here has got to bide his time. He's on the medium tyre. In theory, he's on the faster tyre here. He's got the slipstream, he'll have some DRS. Tableclan has that too. Making our way now down towards turn 1, but no way through for Aero there. He's just a little bit too far back. Look at this now, he's right on the gearbox of Tableclan here. Will he try and move up the inside of turn 2? He does. Lock it up. Oh, just about opposite lock there as Pitmat is now out of the race. He's retired in the pit lane, and there is a safety car. Safety car deployed at the Hungarian with 11 laps to go. I have a feeling there could be a very, very busy pit lane on the horizon. But a retirement from Pitmat and a retirement from Basti has triggered the safety car. And correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't seen the safety car often this season. We've seen virtual safety cars, but never the physical safety car. So this will bunch up the field. I wonder if anyone's going to come into the pits. Maybe put on a set of soft tyres, especially those further down the field. Krisman will be brought back into this race. He's 15 seconds down on Slossie. As Deso, no, he doesn't come into the pits. Meanwhile, Zenki does. Zenki into the pits then. He's looking to go on to a faster set of tyres then. He has to keep to the delta into the pit lane, which he does. Gabri stays out, Iamotti stays out, Francis comes in. How about Andres? He comes in as well. So does Tableclan. Aero in, Johan, he thinks about it and comes in then. How about Slossie? He comes in as well. So Krisman then will be on a set of the medium tyres. I think he'll probably stay out and try and make those medium tyres work. So Deso then will be picked up by the safety car. Gabri will go up to second place. Iamotti in third. Zenki rejoins just ahead. I think that was a back marker then. But look at this busy pit lane here. You can just about breathe in that pit lane right now. But all the work is done in the pit lane so far. As that's the Renault there of Marco Krisman. So he is now in 9th place. Aero just about beats him to it then. So Krisman back up to 9th place. More importantly though is that he's back into this race on a set of those medium tyres. So Deso then with 10 laps to go leads here at the Hungarian. Gabri second, Iamotti in third, Zenki running in 4th now. He's put on a set of medium tyres to the end of the race, with Francis, Andres, Tableclan and Aero all putting on soft tyres. Johan's put on a set of hard tyres. That's an interesting call. Maybe he doesn't have any more tyres left. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's on the hard tyres and that's it. So, yeah, it's a fresh set of hard tyres, that's for sure. Slossie then running in 11th place. He's put on a set of soft tyres. But you still have to keep to the delta under the safety car. I'm wondering if Alex Musica, I wonder if he's watching the stream and thinks, you know what, I'll come back, but he will find himself a lap down. Making our way now through turn 13. Tensions will be rising here. We're in for a hectic couple of laps. Making our way to the final corner. On to the start-finish straight then. So, Deso then will have his hands full. He'll be on a hard set of tyres, but he's got Gabri and Iamotti behind him. Zenki, meanwhile, is on a set of the medium tyres, and he'll be looking to try and fight his way through the field. But watch out as well for Francis and Andres, Tableclan and Aero. All the company there will be trying to fight their way through as well. Bert Weinlander gets a couple of laps under his belt in this season. Oh, that's contact there. Tableclan's run into the back of Andres, and he's lost a bit of front wing. They bunched up there, and it caught Tableclan off guard. And yeah, you can see at left-hand side of that front wing, he'll be mightily frustrated about that one. Got to keep on full alert on the safety car, because they'll bunch up like this, especially through the tight twister sections. That's when you have to really be on the ball. But at the moment, we make our way through that chicane once again. And currently, Deso leads. How he'll get on towards the end of this race. Let us know then in the chat, who are you backing for the race win? Can Deso hold on with the hard tyres? As now Slossie and Yoan have come together. And Slossie's been given a 5-second stop-go penalty. Then he's been given a 5-second stop-go for ignoring the yellow flag. In fact, that's not a stop-go, that's a 5-second slap on the wrist. At the end of the race, a bit of confusion there for Slossie. And, well, safety car is in this lap then. So the lights go off, Deso becomes the safety car. And remember, there's no safety car before the start-finish line. The start-finish line is the safety car line, so no overtaking can be done. Look how much Deso's backing up the field here. Looks like he's gone for it then. Deso around the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight. We're racing again, green flag waves, and we're underway once again. Heading our way down towards the first corner. That is Zenki right on the attack from the off. Francis looking down the inside of the Toro Rosso. Look at this sandwich. Oh no, Zenki's been collected by Iamotti in that sandwich there. And that is Francis getting away then. The 3 wide here. 2 Toro Rossos and a Mercedes in towards turn 2. Again, so close together. The Toro Rossos just about make it through, do they? Iamotti can't make it through then. He's on 14-lap-old hard tyres then as we make our way up towards turn 4. Oh, that's all contact between the Renault and the Toro Rosso there. Crisman's around and through turn 4 there. It's all got a bit hectic towards the end here. Ramped up the adrenaline, that's for sure. Yoan trying to move down the inside at the chicane, not quite worked there. And these drivers are trying moves that they weren't trying 3 laps ago. But now it's all or nothing. All on the table. Zenki down to 5th place. Came into contact there at the first corner. Now launching it down the inside. Oh no, he's been collected. And then that's Aero running into the side of the Alfa Romeo. He's now chipped a bit of front wing off. It's madness towards the end of this race. Utter madness. Well, Andres here has managed to keep his cool. Francis now is up into 2nd place on his return. Andres with, well, that's just ERS then, down towards the start-finish straight, takes away 3rd place from Gabri. Then Aero having to defend hard from Tableclan, who's got that front wing damage. Iamotti then having to defend there from Slossie. A little bit of contact between the 2 of them there, but Slossie makes his way through then out of the first corner. But now he's under pressure from Yoan then, heading in towards turn 2. Around the outside, but he's on the marbles there, so he won't get a good amount of grip. Deso is going to be under extreme pressure here from Francis as we make our way now through turn 5. It's going to be very difficult for Deso to defend from Francis then, making our way through the chicane. And yeah, I've just seen back on the playback some of the incidents that were happening there. Just drivers treating it like it is the last lap. Well, there's 6 laps to go at least. I mean, there's 6 and a bit if you're picky. But But Francis here is trying to close in on Deso, but remember, he has 9 seconds worth of penalties. This could fall into Andres' hands. I believe he does have penalties, but if Francis can battle with Deso, it can bring the Williams into play, and the Williams could be in a prime position to take advantage of anything that goes wrong. But here we go then, out of the final corner and on towards the start-finish straight. DRS will be enabled this lap. Heading now down towards the first corner as Slossie sets the fastest lap of the race then in 7th place, looking to try and close in on Table Clan. Meanwhile, Johan under pressure then from Zenki, trying to move down the inside then in towards the first corner, just about stopped it in time, and Zenki now moves up to 9th place. Francis once again still putting that pressure on the Mercedes. That is Andres in 3rd with Gabri running in 4th place. Let's have a look at some championship tables. I can't see Francis on there right now, so of course it's his return. Yeah, I can't see him on there right now, but he's running in 2nd place. As we head our way through the S section. Through turn 10, then through turn 11. A little bit onto the curb there for Francis. That compromises his entry in towards turn 11. Andres will be seeing that, seeing how much Francis is taking out of the tyre. Zenki here, meanwhile, battling away with Iamotti down towards turn 12. And Zenki here, who about 5 minutes ago had a chance of winning this race, slightly falling away. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin through turn 13 there. He had a chance of getting a really, really good result here, did Zenki. But it's all unravelled in the past couple of laps. 5 laps to go here in Hungary. Meanwhile, Slossie here battling away with the Mercedes of Table Clan through turn 1. As Table Clan shuts the door on Slossie. No way through for him that time around. Table Clan having to defend the inside at turn 2. Slossie is going to try and make a move around the outside as Table Clan looks to try and defend up the inside. Goes the Red Bull running side by side through turn 4. Slossie surely has the line, which he does. And he takes over 6th place ahead of the Mercedes. A brave move in the end then from the Red Bull. And he moves up a position and is rewarded for his tenacity there. Francis meanwhile still looking to put pressure on Deso. But the thing with the soft tyres are that you'll get 3 or 4 laps of good performance out of them, and then they'll start to fade away. You've taken so much out of them. So Deso just has to resist from the initial attack, and the longer he can stay in the lead, the better it will get for him as he rounds the final corner. Once again, for the 31st time, DRS will take a big role here for Andres as he looks to try and close in on Francis. DRS is all the way down to 0, then he moves it up to medium, making his way now down towards turn 1 as Zenki now sets the fastest lap of the race as he gets his way past Table Clan then in towards turn 1. Move done then for the Alfa Romeo, and Johan and Iamotti then battling out of turn 1 then on the way down towards turn 2. Johan has the inside line then with the DRS. He'll have to try and hold on to that inside line for as long as he can, and yes, he does. Takes that inside line, no way back through for Iamotti, and the McLaren moves up to 9th place. Zenki meanwhile picks up a 3-second time penalty. That will be added to the end of his race. 4 laps to go, 3 and a bit if you're picky. Francis with yet another 3-second time penalty. As we now make our way in towards turn 12, or turn 11 this is. We're heading now down towards turn 12, and look at this now. Deso is galloping away from Francis. Francis is just taking too much out of his tyres. Andres here will look to try and take over. Right now, well, because of penalties, Andres is running in 2nd place as we make our way now around the final corner. Andres looking to try and prioritise his exit, to try and maximise the DRS he's got there. Opens it down the start-finish straight, reeling in Francis, moves to the right-hand side of the track. He'll have the inside line heading down towards turn 1. Andres up the inside he goes. Francis then tries to prioritise the exit of turn 1 to try and get a better run down towards turn 2, but Andres with that DRS is able to pull away from the Red Bull, and so Andres moves up to 2nd place. Having a look at Andres, the only other time he's finished on the podium this season was in Austria, and that was a 2nd place as well. But I wonder how these penalties are going to play out. There's been quite a few penalties. I haven't been able to keep up with all of them. It's only me in here. I would have been impressed if even I did it. But Motti has come into the pits then. He's going to put on another set of soft tyres. And he'll probably go for the fastest lap of the race to end it all. Away now on board with Zenki, trying to close in on Slossi. Meanwhile, Francis is not done with that battle for second place just yet. Coming into turn 12 now. As we make our way towards turn 13, again, both of them locking up there into turn 13, ascending towards turn 14. And again, both of them just looking for the optimum line through that final corner. Deso starts the penultimate lap of this race. Francis this time will have a DRS attack on Andres heading down towards turn 1. Then you can see how much overspeed Francis has, then launches it down the inside. Can he get it slowed down in time? Yes, he can. Andres tries to move around the outside, but with Francis having DRS, he takes that position back. Zenki, meanwhile, takes the position away from Slossi. He now moves up to 6th place in this race. And Andres is trying everything to try and get past Francis. Francis running very wide on the exit of turn 3 there. And Andres thought, you know what, I'm going to try and take a different line, try and take advantage of that one. Johan then, well, Table Clan, then Johan, both getting 3-second time penalties in the same corner. As Johan tries and put some pressure on the Mercedes ahead of him. Meanwhile, Motti has trying to go around the outside of Marco Kruzman then in towards the first turn. A little bit of contact between each other then as they're making their way down towards turn 2. You can see the Toro Rosso there got the inside line. Can he slow down in time? Yes, he can. Yellow flags in sector 2 as Zenki looks to move down the inside at turn 12. Up the inside he goes. There was little to no room there on the approach and down the inside, but Zenki didn't care. He made that door open. Well, Deso has just started the final lap of this race, and Andres here has the perfect opportunity to take away second place on track. He's looking to try and pass Francis. Francis moves across to the right-hand side to try and put Andres off, breaking into turn 1, but he can't quite do that. Andres takes away second place once again, heading down towards turn 2. Johan moving ahead of Table Clan with DRS in towards turn 1 here. Table Clan will try and get a better exit out of turn 2. He has, you know, initially down towards turn 2. The McLaren has the inside line though. They're running side by side, a little bit of contact between them. Table Clan unsettles the car and has to settle for 10th place right now, but there is a Mercedes making his way through the chicane. Motti then picks up the fastest lap of the race. He's inside the top 10 right now, so he will get that and claim that bonus point. Zenki picking up a 3-second time penalty. Just watching now as Deso makes his way through. Meanwhile, Gabri has really come alive towards the end of this race. They're going side by side with Francis then in towards turn 11. A little bit of contact. Oh, Gabri's around at turn 11. Oh, unbelievable. He had such a good run there, but he's all been turned around, and that's just handed position after position to every other driver. But Deso here on his final appearance at AOR PS4 F3 wins in Hungary. 7 wins out of 11 for him. What a drive he had there. Andres coming across the line to finish in second. Zenki third with Francis in fourth. But then Aero, thanks to no penalties whatsoever, jumps all the way up to second place. Great drive from Aero there. Gabri, even with that instant, is able to claim a podium at the end of that. Andres finishing in 4th, Zenki 5th with Table Clan in 6th. Francis drops all the way down to 7th place. That was 12 seconds of penalties, I believe he had there. Johan crosses the line. He finishes in 8th place. Slossi rounding off the top 9. Motti will come home any second now to claim 10th place and the fastest lap of the race bonus point. But your winner for the 7th time this season, Deso wins in Hungary. Well, when you treat 7 laps to go like it's the final lap, this is what you get. Drama all the way through towards the end of this race. And that safety car helped to bunch up the field. But your winner in Hungary is Deso. Well, he had to hold off from relentless pressure from Francis and Co. all on the soft tyres. But here are your official, unofficial results of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Desso takes the race win in his last appearance in AOR F3. He'll be moving to F1 for the foreseeable future. Aero then finishes in second place, having started from P14. What a drive from the Dutchman. Gabri rounds off the podium with Andres in 4th, Zenki in 5th, Table Clan 6th, with Francis in 7th, Johan in 8th, Slossie 9th, and Krisman actually rounded off the top 10, so Iamotti finishes outside of the top 10, and that fastest lap bonus point means absolutely nothing. Alex Musica, Pitmac and Basti with the 15th place driver of Pedro all not finishing this race. Well, that safety car definitely spiced up things just a little bit, didn't it? Well, that will do it then for the stream tonight. Next time and next week we'll be in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix, funnily enough. And hopefully we will see you there for that one. Make sure you follow the league on Twitter at ApexOnRacing. You can follow me on Twitter whilst there if you like. It's at KSMCGF1. Thank you very much for watching the stream tonight, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in Belgium. Until then, I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.